He's having a news conference. And don't forget to subscribe to Speak to Sports and Pray to All Here. Thanks, guys, for joining us.
Have launched attacks on hundreds of commercial vessels. We're putting an end to all of this threat once and for all, and the result will be lower oil prices, oil and gas prices for American families. We've done that. We've done it. We brought it very low. This was just an excursion into something that had to be done. We're getting very close to finishing that too. In the meantime, during this brief disruption, the United States is offering political risk insurance to any tankers operating in the Gulf. So we're putting up risk insurance. We'll perhaps go alongside of them for protection. We don't think it'll be necessary. If it is, and if they do anything, the price will be incalculable. It will be so great that they will have wished they never did it, because you have to keep the straits flowing. With all of that, it affects other countries much more than it does the United States. It doesn't really affect us. We have so much oil. We have tremendous oil and gas, much more than we need. We have Venezuela now as our new partner, great partner. They've worked out so wonderful. We're working with the administration, the president, and it's a massive source of oil, gas, everything. But we're in a very good position, but very unfair to other parts of the world, like China as an example. I mean, we're doing this for the other parts of the world, including countries like China. They get a lot of their oil through the straits. So we're doing this. We have a very good relationship with President Xi in China. I'm going there in a short period of time, and we're protecting the world from what these lunatics are trying to do, and very successfully, I might add. We're also waiving certain oil-related sanctions to reduce prices. So we have sanctions on some countries. We're going to take those sanctions off till this straightens out. Then who knows, maybe we won't have to put them on. There'll be so much peace. But when the time comes, the U.S. Navy and its partners will escort tankers through the strait if needed. I hope it's not going to be needed, but if it's needed, we'll escort them right through. And we have the greatest mine-sweeping ability. We have the greatest ships, and all of them. We know exactly where they're placed. We'll get them out of there very fast, but we hope we don't have any of that. And again, if they do that, if they play that game, we're going to hit them at a level that they have not seen before. So we're winning very decisively. We're way ahead of schedule. Our military is the greatest in the world, with the greatest equipment and the greatest people in the world. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Iran's a very powerful country. They were going to take over the Middle East. If we did not hit them, they were going to take over the Middle East. They had thousands and thousands since their last hit. They had thousands and thousands of missiles and everything else. Most are now destroyed. But they were going to take over the Middle East. Those weapons were aimed at Middle Eastern countries that had nothing to do with this. They were going to take over the Middle East, and they were going to try and destroy Israel. So we stopped it with good timing, and we're very proud to be involved in this, and it's going to be ended soon. And if it starts up again, they'll be hit even harder. Thank you very much for being here. Go ahead, any question?
Thank you so much.
Go ahead.
Do you approve of Iran's new supreme leader? And secondly, can you tell us more about your call with Russian President Vladimir Putin today?
Yes.
What did you discuss?
Yes, I had a very good call with President Putin. We had a lot of people on the line from our side, from his side. We were talking about Ukraine, which is just a never-ending fight. And look, there's tremendous hatred between President Putin and President Zelensky. They can't seem to get it together. But I think it was a positive call on that subject. And we obviously talked then about the Middle East. And he wants to be helpful. I said, you can be more helpful by getting the Ukraine-Russia war over with. That would be more helpful. But we had a very good talk, and he wants to be very constructive. Yeah, please. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. On Iran, you called it an excursion. You said it would be over soon. Are you thinking this week it will be over?
No,
Are you
but
talking
soon.
about days?
I think so.
Okay, and with respect
Very soon. Look, everything they have is gone, including their leadership. In fact, there are two levels of leadership, and even actually, as it turns out, more than that, but two levels of leadership are gone. Most people have never even heard about the leaders that they're talking about. So it's obviously been very, very powerful, very effective.
To Cuba, you said that Cuba wants to make a deal.
Yes.
What would the United States get in return for that, and why should Americans trust Marco Rubio to negotiate it?
Well, Marco Rubio is doing a great job. I think he's going to go down as the greatest Secretary of State in history. Look at what we've done as a presidency. Look at what we've done as an administration. They trust Marco, and so do the American people trust. He's been successful no matter where he's been. He also speaks the language, which is always nice and always helpful. But he's dealing, and it may be a friendly takeover. It may not be a friendly takeover. It wouldn't matter, because they're down to, as they say, fumes. They have no energy. They have no money. They're in deep trouble on a humanitarian basis. And we don't want to see that, but they were very, very bad to a lot of people, as you know, and a lot of people living on the Cuban-American vote, which I got at record levels. Very important. Those people are very important to me. I know what they went through. They went through hell. Some of them have gone on to be some of the most successful people in the country. Cuban-American business people, some of them are like the most successful in the country. And a lot of them are friends of mine, because I've been fighting this battle with them for a long time. The Castro regime was brutal, but they lived off Venezuela. Now they don't live off Venezuela. It sends them no energy, no fuel, no oil, no money, no nothing. They lived without Venezuela. They couldn't have made it. And we cut them off from everything else. So, they're going to make either a deal, or we'll do it just as easy anyway. Yeah. Please, go ahead.
Footage that shows an American missile strike and a Tomahawk missile likely destroyed that Iranian girls' school. So will the U.S. accept any responsibility?
Well, I
for that
haven't
strike?
seen it, and I will say that the Tomahawk, which is one of the most powerful weapons around, is used by, sold and used by other countries, you know that. And whether it's Iran, who also has some Tomahawks, I wish they had more, but whether it's Iran or somebody else, the fact that a Tomahawk is very generic, it's sold to other countries, but that's being investigated right now. Yeah, please.
Thank you. Mr. President, you said the war is, quote, very complete, but your defense secretary says this is just the beginning. So which is it, and how long should Americans be
Well, I think you
for
could
this
say
war
it
to last
both.
for?
It's the beginning. It's the beginning of building a new country. But they have no Navy, they have no Air Force, they have no anti-aircraft equipment. It's all been blown up. They have no radar, they have no telecommunications, and they have no leadership. It's all gone. So, you could look at that statement. We could call it a tremendous success right now as we leave here. I could call it, or we could go further, and we're going to go further. But the big risk on that war has been over for 3 days. We wiped them out in the first 2 days. When you think about it, it's incredible. We wiped out a big Navy, very powerful Navy. These were ships, these were serious ships. These were ships that you buy when you want to win battles. They're all on the bottom floor. The sailors are all running off the ships. They refuse to get on the ships. The Air Force is gone. Everything's gone. The missiles are down to a trickle. The drones are down to probably 25%, and they'll soon be down to nothing. We'll have where they manufacture the drones are under fire as we speak. They're being hit. So the rest is going to be determination as to my attitude, along with the people in the Trump administration, what we want to do. Thank you. Yeah, please.
Can I ask you, you mentioned you were going to waive certain additional oil waivers or sanctions. Can you talk a little bit more about that and address in particular?
Well, we're looking to
considering
keep the oil prices down. We went artificially up because of this excursion into a very positive thing. I mean, this was an excursion that a lot of people wouldn't have done. I knew oil prices would go up if I did this, and they've gone up probably less than I thought they'd go up. but I don't think anybody thought we were going to be this quickly successful. This was a military success, the likes of which people haven't seen. We have the best military. We have the best equipment. We have, I believe, the best generals. We have the best. And this went very quickly. We talked about that with President Putin. He was very impressed with what he saw because nobody's ever seen anything quite like it. You know, Iran was a very powerful military country with all of the missiles. Now, you had the double attack. You had the original attack with us in Israel, and that knocked them for a loop. Then you had the B-2 bombers, which took out their nuclear capability, and they would have had a nuclear weapon within 2 weeks to 4 weeks. And they would have used it long before this press conference. And we might have had a much different press conference if we had a press conference at all. But it's been amazing. The military success that we've had is truly unprecedented.
You told your congressional colleagues that you will not sign any piece of legislation until the Save America Act is passed. Does that include the confirmation of Senator Mullen as your next DHS secretary? Does that mean a DHS funding bill? And Senator Thune said today, it's not a matter of whether or not your Republican colleagues agree with the policy, it's about changing the process. In other words, getting rid of the filibuster to get there.
So in order to get it, you're going to need Democrat votes. And what we're saying is the Save America, not the SAVE Act, which nobody knew what it was, the Save America Act, the Save America Act. And that's voter ID. We want voter ID. We're a voter. We want to be able to see a picture of the voter. We want to be able to see that the voter is legitimate. We want, very importantly, confirmation that this voter is a citizen of the United States of America. And we want no mail-in ballot scams. So we have exceptions for the military, for sick, for disabled, and for people that are away, business trips or whatever. Even vacations will be very liberal in that. We've added 2 things to it: no men and women sports and no transgender mutilization of our children. We don't want it's mutilization of our children, and we don't want that. So we added those 2 things. That's the 5 points. We have 5 very good points. It polls at 86% with Democrats. Think of that. The overall vote is 86%. With Republicans, it's 98%. And the only one opposed to it is a Democrat leadership because they cheat. They want to cheat. So we added those 2 points. We're going for the gold, and we're going to have to fight like hell. Now, certain things will happen. Certain things will take place. I'm here to do a great job for the country. But we don't have a country if we're going to have elections that are so corrupt and so dishonest like we've witnessed over the last period of time. You know, as an example, virtually nobody has a system of mail-in ballots like we have. No other country in the world. France went away from it. They owe it. You know why? Because it's corrupt. And Jimmy Carter, when he had a commission, frankly, I think it's probably the best thing Jimmy Carter did. He said, you can't have mail-in voting because it's inherently dishonest. And it's turned out to be totally dishonest, so we're going to fight for it. Yeah.
Has Iran activated any sleeper cells inside the U.S.? There's reports that they have pressed that trigger button to activate those cells, at least abroad.
Well, they've been trying for a long time. We've been very much on top of it. One of the things we have to do is get the Democrats to stop the Democrat shutdown, because as you know, the apparatus that looks into that, Schumer and the Democrats have shut it down, which tells you they probably hate our country a lot. But the Democrats have to open that up. But we've got very, very good intelligence into that. We know a lot of different things that have happened that have been very bad. A lot of them came in during the Biden open border period, but we have them under, we've got them, we're watching every single one of them. Yeah, we know a lot about them. The biggest problem we have is the Democrat shutdown. We know a lot about them, but the shutdown doesn't allow us to do what we have to do.
Do you have to take him out? Does he have a target on his back?
You mean the new supreme leader? You mean the son?
How can there be an Iran?
Well, I don't want to say that, but I was disappointed because we think it's going to lead to just more of the same problem for the country. So I was disappointed to see their choice.
Thank you, sir. You've said you have someone in mind to be the new Iranian leadership, if not the Ayatollah's son. What are you looking for in that person? Are you looking at someone internal, given that you just said that their leadership has been?
I like the idea of internal and eternal, come to think of it. But I like the idea of internal because it works well. I mean, I think we've proven that so far in Venezuela. We have a woman, Delcy, who has been president of the country, very respected, she's doing a great job. And it's, no disruption. We had, as you remember, Iraq, where everybody got fired. The military got fired, the police got fired, the politicians got fired. There was nobody. And you know what they turned into? ISIS. And we don't want that. We don't want that. So I would like to see people that are inside go. Now they talk about the son of the Shah. They talk about other people, but hasn't been there in many, many years. We have a formula that's been very good so far, and I think it'll continue to be good. The relationship is extraordinary with Venezuela, smart country. We've taken out 100 million barrels of oil. It's right now in Houston being taken care of and made so beautiful. And you have to see this at work. They have it's brought to the refineries. It's being refined in Houston, which is made exactly for that product. And so far, but it's 100 million barrels of oil, and now they have another 100 million barrels coming. And it's like a partnership. We're getting along so well with them. It's great for Venezuela, and it's great for the United States. Yeah, please go ahead.
Mr. President, you just suggested that Iran somehow got its hands on a Tomahawk and bombed its own elementary school on the first day of the war. But you're the only person in your government saying this. Even your defense secretary wouldn't say that when he was asked, standing over your shoulder on your plane on Saturday. Why are you the only person saying this?
Because I just don't know enough about it. I think it's something that I was told is under investigation, but Tomahawks are used by others, as you know. Numerous other nations have Tomahawks. They buy them from us. But I will certainly, whatever the report shows, I'm willing to live with that report. Yeah, please.
You said earlier that we've already won in many ways, but we haven't won enough. What do you consider enough? What's your baseline?
Where they're not going to be starting the following day to develop a nuclear weapon. Where they'll look at that man and some other people from the administration and say, all right, we're not going to do it. They were not willing to say that. And when Steve called up and he said that to me, I said, well, here we go. Let's do it the hard way. But the hard way, I think, is probably the easy way. When basically I can see that they will no longer have any capacity whatsoever for a very long period of time of developing weaponry that could be used against the United States, Israel, or any of our allies. We have great allies in the Middle East, great countries that are allies. And they were staying out of it until they got hit. Someday they'll have to do a story. Why did he do that? Why did they do that? But they were going to hit them. If I didn't hit them first, they were going to hit our allies first. I believe, upon information and belief, but I believe that he was going to, they were going to take over the Middle East. They were looking to take over the Middle East. Now, had Operation Midnight Hammer not taken place, that was definite, because they would have had a nuclear weapon within a matter of weeks. But that took place. That was a setback. But look at the number of missiles they were able to buy and make over the last 6 months. And those missiles were aimed at various countries. And when you look at over 1,000 missiles shot at like UAE, they were looking to take over the Middle East. We got there first. We're lucky. I'll tell you what, the Middle East and those countries, very rich countries, are very lucky that I was president instead of somebody else.
Points of disagreement between yourself and your vice president when it comes to U.S. action in Iran?
I don't think so, no. No, we get along very well on this. He was, I would say, philosophically a little bit different than me. I think he was maybe less enthusiastic about going, but he was quite enthusiastic. But I felt it was something we had to do. I didn't feel we had a choice. If we didn't do it, they would have done it to us. I felt based on the negotiations that were being had by Steve Woodcock and Jared Kushner and Marco and Pete and everybody was involved. I felt that they were looking to tap us along before they hit, and I thought they were going to hit. And if they hit us first, that would have been a very bad thing. In the back, please, in the back. About the strait, you mean? Yeah, well, I want to keep it open. I want to keep it good. You know, it doesn't pertain to us so much as it does to China. We're really helping China here and other countries because they get a lot of their energy from the straits. But, hey, look, we have a good relationship with China. It's my honor to do it. Yeah.
Leader, you have called him an unacceptable choice. So does he have a target on his back? And how can you say
I don't want to say whether or not he does because that would be inappropriate. But hey, look, I had a target on my back because, as you people wrote pretty well, they caught the assassin that was after me. So we just got them first, but they caught the assassin. They have him now in custody that was after me. So, you know, but people don't like to mention that, but they did catch him. And I'd like to congratulate our military, Secret Service, FBI, all of the people that worked on that, but they did. Yeah, please. Go ahead. No, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. You promised the Iranian people you would help them, but it sounds like you're willing to end this fight after your military objectives have wrapped up. Isn't that a betrayal?
Will I help them? I'd like to, if they can behave, but they've been very menacing. You know, they're great people. They have an amazing population. It's amazing, smart, brilliant, energetic. They have a great, I'd love to help them, but they have to be in a system that allows them to be helped. And right now they're in a system that only allows failure. And I don't want that. And I want a system that's not going to be attacking us. We want a system that can lead to many years of peace. And if we can't have that, we might as well get it over with right now. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, as of today, there have been 8 U.S. military fatalities associated with the war in Iran. How many American deaths are you willing to have in this war?
Well, as I said before, when you have conflicts like this, you always have death. And I was at Dover yesterday. I met the parents, and they were unbelievable people. They were unbelievable people, but they all had one thing in common. They said to me one thing, every single one: finish the job, sir. Please finish the job. And I'll leave you at that. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
That's it, Elijah.
Thank you.
Boy, they still asking questions. They still asking questions. I'm glad that he took the time to do that news conference because it's a lot. I guess American people, this is one way we stay informed. And that's one thing that I give this administration credit is that they do speak to the American people. Yeah. They're more transparent than any administration that since I've been alive that actually allow you to go into the boardroom when they have their executive board meeting, their cabinets meeting. He speaks to the press every day. It's not scripted. He's not using a teleprompter. The previous administrations, they didn't take any questions. They weren't transparent. So whether you agree with him or not, which a lot of stuff people don't agree with, and then you got people that do agree with, at least he answers questions. So that's important, especially right now with everything that we have going on. He is the president that's answering questions. You guys, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe to Speak the Truth 2.0. This is the afterwards. He just finished his news conference for those who are coming on, and we're reacting to it. This segment is called Cindy Speaks. So what I got out of it is like the reporter said, like how many Americans do he assume are going to lose their lives, that he'll say that's enough Americans, I guess, that have lost their lives, but nobody can predict in war how long it's going to continue and how many lives that are going to be lost. But one thing's for sure, the longer it goes on, especially if they decide to put boots on the ground, that's when you're going to have more casualties. Right now, everything is from the air. They're probably using drones. There is the air. But once they hit the ground, then that's going to be a different story. And there are parents that are concerned now about their kids being drafted or their kids being sent to fight the war. So what we want to happen is for the war to end as soon as possible. We don't want to be in another endless war. We don't want to be in a situation like Russia and Ukraine, what Putin and Zelensky are going through. They're still fighting, but they're losing so many soldiers, so many of their citizens. They're grabbing people off the street in Ukraine. So I know that we don't want to, I doubt that we ever get to that point, but you want it to end as soon as possible. And then you got to look at it. What is it in for America? How are we winning? Like, how does it affect us? We're not over there next to Iran. That's Israel. And we're their allies, so we're fighting the war together. But how is all this benefiting us? Our oil prices now are going to soar because of the war. But Trump is saying we got millions of barrels of oil that we're getting from Venezuela. He's looking at Cuba right now. So we have other resources, but we want this to end. And as parents, you don't want your child to be sent to fight a war that's, that's not really benefiting us. So how is it benefiting us? Do you guys know? Because I don't know. I know we're supporting Israel, and I know, well, one big way is we don't want them to have the capabilities of being able to have a nuclear bomb. That puts the whole world in danger. So when they went in the first time, they said that they were trying to put together a nuclear bomb, and we took it all out. This time we went in, I guess they were saying the same situation was still going on, that they were still having the ability to have a nuclear bomb. So they feel as though this time go in, make sure that they don't have that kind of power, because they don't want, like, one nuclear bomb goes off, then somebody else going to do a nuclear bomb, then the whole world is just going to cave in. So we don't want these leaders, especially irrational leaders or emotional leaders, to feel as though, well, we're just going to end it all and we're going to set these nukes off. So we don't want that. We want people with cool heads, because regardless where you are in the world, it's going to affect all of us if that radiation hits the air. It's going to wipe everybody's going to be affected. Your crops, your food, your water, your skin will burn right off. So it's serious. So we don't want to get into nuclear warfare. So he's trying to stop it. And meanwhile, I'm glad he's taking the questions. Like, I asked a question, someone said, oh, that's not such a smart question. Actually, they said a stupid question. But people, hey, I guess everybody answered. I guess they need to comment on that. Is Trump a better president than Biden? 41% said yes, and 56, what is this, Elijah? 59% said no. So you have people that feel as though, like, when we do these polls, it seems like I don't know if we have more Democrats on here, or the channel is kind of switching, because it used to be like more Republicans. But as far as polling, it's like the Democrats feel as though Biden was a better president. And someone who campaigned for Biden, who supported Biden, who had boots on the ground for Biden, he was an awful president. I supported Biden because I expected him to be like Obama. I'm saying, okay, Obama had chosen him, and then he made promises that we were going to get the George Floyd bill, which Obama didn't do, and they was going to do the John Lewis bill, and like we were going to get things done. I thought we was moving in the right direction, but he got in office and he did nothing. The only goal they had was opening up the borders. That was it. That was it. And putting us more in debt.
And paying the Taliban.
Yeah, we're paying the Taliban. They was giving them $25 million a week in cash money. Cash money. I think it was $25 or $40 million a week since 2021. By the time Trump got in office, they had already given like like millions of dollars. I forget the numbers. So they had been giving them money. I'm like, why are y'all paying the Taliban in cash? That's untraceable. You know that, right? So, but there's a lot going on. But he was an awful president. Biden was a terrible president. Biden, it was like Biden didn't even know he was president. Biden didn't take any questions. The office, there was no transparency. The vice president didn't talk to anybody. They didn't have anyone standing out in the front lines speaking to the American people.
They had the press secretary stressed as
And the press secretary, as soon as the term was over, she jumped ship. She's not even no longer a Democrat. Who does that? The press secretary. What was his name? John Pierre?
Yeah.
Soon as he got voted out of office, she no longer is a Democrat. The former press secretary. That's like Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. As soon as Trump term is over, she's no longer a Republican. It's wild. You know, so he was an awful president. He wasn't a good president. He opened up our borders. That was the worst thing he could have done to the American people. The worst. The worst. He allowed people to come in the country breaking the laws, and he put them on our welfare system, which crushed us. And it continues to crush us. You can't bring 14 million people in jobless, homeless, have no resources, can't feed themselves, and you put all that on a country. They went on our welfare system. You went to any hospital during that time or whatever, they're in all the emergency rooms. They're in everywhere. Them running up our healthcare system. Because you know who was paying for it? American taxpayers. You know the Democratic Party does not represent the American people. They don't speak out for Americans. They want Americans to speak out for non-citizens. Like they can't apply for citizenship. Their whole focus is having another voting block. They're not trying to do anything for Americans. They just want to say Trump is bad, and that's it. Okay, Trump is bad, but what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing for us? You know, so all these things make a difference. So I don't know what you got to say. How do you feel about what's going on? And you know what? His generation and the people coming, they're going to have a lot to deal with, because guess what? Watch 2028. They not Republicans and Democrats. Y'all going to be fighting for the black vote. That's for sure, for sure. That's a fact. I'm telling you. Remember this day. I'm telling y'all. Black people not going for all this okie dokie. No, we tired of the twerking. We got lying fatigue. Everybody's lying to my community. We're not going to just vote for anyone. You watch what happened now. You trying to get non-citizens to vote? Y'all gonna lose the black vote, and the Republicans gained the black vote, but they're not Trump.
What?
Like people voted for Trump. 2 million black men, they voted for Trump, but Trump is not gonna run in 2028. So the Republicans, they're not trying to get the black vote. Oh well.
What I don't like is that it's like, are you for the people or your own ideology? It's like, because what I see is that both parties can never agree on anything. It's always versus on everything. And now it's like, hold up, like, are you for helping America or just your point of view? The way you want America to be is the problem.
They fight for their point of view versus actually helping Americans.
Like them not standing up is what reminds me.
You know, when are they going to stand for Americans? When are they going to look at the welfare of Americans? Both parties. It can't be all about, you got to plug it up, please. It can't be just about fighting all the time and accomplishing nothing for the American people. Somebody is going to have to give. And as these midterms come up and 2028, it's going to be a new sheriff in town. People are not going to fall for the okie doke. People are tired. They're tired.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the Democrat Party that supported the KKK, especially those Southern Democrats that were for that, right? You're saying the party that gave us the right to vote, and you got to add it to Democrats have done nothing for black people.
What did they say? You going at it?
Yeah, because they said fix your effing windows. And if you're talking about the Democrats, you're talking about the party that got you the right to vote.
Y'all, okay.
That's why I was angry at that.
You know what? This is what I say you need to do. Educate yourself. The fastest way you can find out is go to ChatGPT. That's easy. Go to ChatGPT and ask Chat, what has the Democratic Party done for Black Americans? Just ask Chat. What's the history? Ask Chat. What's the history of the Democratic Party as far as the Black community? Because you know the Democratic Party were the ones that started the Ku Klux Klan, right, in Pulaski, Tennessee. That was the Democratic Party, not the Republican. You know who started Jim Crow and all that? Guess who that was? The Democratic Party. Did you know that? Do you know who tried to filibuster for 70 days the 1965 Civil Rights Bill? I thought it was the Republicans. Guess who that was? That was the Democrats. They tried to stop the Civil Rights Bill. You know who did mass incarceration? Who was the author of mass incarceration for Black men when they said where the Black fathers are, where the Black husbands are? That was Joe Biden. He locked them up. That's how you keep the Black birth rate down. You lock the men up, allow them to be raped in jail, let them come back out, not having children and being abusive. That was all the Democratic Party. That wasn't the Republican Party. You know who the first Republican was that did something for Black people? Oh, that was Abraham Lincoln. Did you know that? The most harm that's been done to us has actually been from the Democratic Party, and they talk about that they're the party, we the people.
Oh, thank you, 250R.
Okay, because this is Speak the Truth 2.0. We're not going to sugarcoat it. And guess what? I was brainwashed. I felt like you did. I was voting Democrat. I was voting against my own best interests. They did more harm to us than any Republican Party has done. It was the Democratic Party. Did you know that? I was campaigning for them hard, doing speeches. I could put videos up or go look on my channel with me with Biden. I could put up with Obama. I got selfies with Biden. I could put you in the circles that I really was flowing in.
You got a quote by him too. Beyond the pale, super predators.
Yeah, call Black people Black men they beyond repel, super predators. Lock them up and leave them locked up. Don't even let them out. But guess what? All the crimes that they commit, they go free. And then want to label us as, you know, it's not right. That people come into the country and they give them like, oh, Black people this, Black people that, when we're some of the greatest people that ever, we're the first people that ever were the first creation on this earth. And we know our greatness. We're our greatness. But to keep telling lies and keep trying to step on our backs and put us down, you know, that's not right. But they're going to have to earn our vote, both parties. And nobody's running to vote for no freaking Democrat. Because first of all, I'm telling you right now, they do not support, at this point, Americans, regardless of race.
Yeah.
Regardless of race. I want to hear them talking about what are they doing for Americans. We are Americans. We're not living in China. We want our elected officials to represent us. That's what they are elected to do. They're elected to do that, to fight for us. That's why we're putting them in office. And if they can't do the job, then they're not going to get my vote, and they're not going to get our vote. They're going to have to work for the vote. Period. So when people get on and they talking about even the Republicans, Trump was doing, I liked him president when he was president 45. President 47, he got too many people controlling him. He got too many people in his ear. They're not for all Americans. They're not for non-citizens, but on top of it, they're not for all Americans. Trump is the president of the left and the right, not just one segment of people.
Look at this comment. They said blacks can't get anything done without white people, and y'all cry too much.
Yeah, we built this world. You come from a Black person. You're Black. You was born out of a Black woman. The first people that ever existed on this earth were Black people. The majority of this world has melanin. Are you aware of the world? Do you know we built this country And everything we built on our own, they come and they tear it down and they try to destroy it. They burn the banks down. We're movers and shakers of the world. Do you know Black Wall Street? Do you know the contributions of the inventions? Everything from a traffic light to paramedics. That's what we did, what we started. That's been stolen from us. We are great. We know our greatness. The lies, how we lazy when we built this country. But then that's a label. You're living in bubble land. See, the thing about this time that we're living in, you can find out history. You can find out everything yourself. You don't have to go by, if you didn't learn it in school or they didn't teach you, you can go to Google, ChatGPT, you could go to Wikipedia, you can go Ground News. We have so many resources. You can go to read a book.
Someone said, so where did white people come from if everyone was black?
Yeah, white people wasn't a race. White people came around, I think, in what, the 1600s, 1500s or something like that. That they, you know, the first people that ever existed on this earth was from Africa. Okay? When they went further out, you can do your research. I've been listening and reading and all that stuff, but this show is not about that. That's for you to find out. But the white race is a newer race on this earth. You didn't know that, did you? Because TV and everything show you that everything is white, and it's not true.
And that's like saying, you're saying that this is a majority white country, but this was the Native Americans' country first.
And black people were already here. Did you know that? Did you know that?
Like, it's a white country now because they took it from the Native Americans.
See, that's what happens when they try to erase history, that people aren't learning the truth. And then they think that they don't know that they don't know the truth. Christopher Columbus can't discover a land that was already here. Exactly. Black people was already, you look at the Aztecs and all that, lips are full. You look at Africa, everything is full lips, everything noses, everything is are black people. They're black. Black is a beautiful thing. And the further that, I guess, when they moved out, the further they went more from the sun or whatever the case may be, the history of it, then they became light skin, lighter skin. That's how you got blonde hair, black people, blue-eyed black people, whatever the case may be. But people don't know their history. And that's the biggest thing that people don't know. We're one nation under God. God made the human race. Do you understand that? Everybody got this colorism.
You're saying, why is this majority a white country? And I'm telling you that this was the Native American country.
And you know what the people did that moved the Native Americans out of the way and enslaved black people? They kept the black rate down. It's not like one geographic was having more babies. They suppressed the birth rate of black people when they wanted to. They didn't want the black people to be the majority in this country. They knew how to put laws into place. They knew how to suppress and keep people down. They knew how to imprison, what they still do, imprison black men. Instead of them working and taking care of their families and reproducing, they put Planned Parenthood in our neighborhoods. They knew how to suppress the black birth rate. This stuff is all planned out. All planned out. And now we're bringing in other Hispanics and other people, and they don't want the Muslims having babies because they was complaining. I guess the guy that was in New York that they was throwing a firebomb at.
How do you not expect us to be pro-black when we're black people? Of course we're going to be pro-black.
You know what? We got so much to learn, and it depends on how much are you willing to learn the truth. How much do you really want to learn? If you're more comfortable being in the dark, if you feel safer not knowing what's really going on, then that's where you need to stay. Because some people, they just not comfortable finding out the truth. It just blows them away. They can't handle it. You know, if you're comfortable thinking the way that you think, then so be it. But I love my melon. I love how God created me. I have never nor desire to be anything other than this beautiful black woman that's standing before you. I have never desired India. I love our swag. I love that we give United States is culture. Everybody copies us, from hair to style to clothing to music, from rock to pop to everything.
Country.
Everything to inventions. We're doctors, lawyers, engineers, scientists,
It's always-
multimillionaires, billionaires.
it's always the
We
people-
are fine.
There's always people with no pictures that try to act all tough. Oh, that's adorable.
It's okay, but see,
Being
people
racist
are
and stuff.
sensitive. When they
Yeah.
do that, they sensitive and they emotional. And these are supposed to be adults. They can't
Yeah.
handle being an adult. If you don't believe anything, look it up. For you, I encourage you to look it up for yourself. That's all. Look it up for yourself. I don't know how I got started talking about all this. But anyway. But people these are adults. It'd be surprised to find out how old some of these people are. And they still don't know or understand life. That it's been so hidden from them that they want to believe. They think that no race has a superior brain. God, you could Google that. Nobody's, because the color of their skin, are smarter than the other. Are you aware of that? It all comes down to education and what you're able, to, that's why they even suppress education. You keep books and different tools that people need so they could soar. But nobody is smarter. But that's what they want you to believe. God made us all the same. All the same. And pigmentation came according to the region that you were in.
Are we not being fair?
But anyway, I just think that I encourage you, find out for yourself. Okay, find out for yourself, and then you could come back. Just find out for yourself. That's all I ask. I encourage you to learn, to educate yourself. I encourage you to look things up. And now you can look up stuff the speed of light. I mean, it's not that hard to find out the truth. For yourself. Do it for you. Do it for your children. Do it for your grandkids. Do it for yourself. Find out. The truth is, no matter if you like it or not, that's why we embrace our history. We don't want nobody removing artifacts from Smithsonian. We don't want them removing plaques about slavery from Philadelphia Independence Mall, because it's us. That's part of who we are. We are Americans. We've been here over 400 years. That's our history. So we don't like it, but we embrace it because that's where we come from. And that's how life is. But find out for yourself. That's how you grow as a person. You don't be on this earth and you're in the dark because you don't want to know the truth. If you can't handle it, then just run from it. Continue to run from it. Continue to run from it. But as far as this channel, when you come on here, we love everyone. We're not against anybody.
Yeah.
We just want what's right, what's righteous. We're not beholden to man. We're beholden to God. I'm not disloyal if I agree with Trump, don't agree with Trump. If I agree with Hakeem Jeffries or don't, it depends. What are they doing for us?
For example, I
Yeah.
love women of every race,
Okay, you somewhere else in your heart. Oh, well. Yeah, you just got to get over yourself and just move forward and listen to what's being told to you and, have your own opinion. But don't try to go and listen to lies because it's comfortable. You got to grow up. When God said, when I was a child, spoke as a child, when you grew up, then you put away those childish things. You have to grow up, even when it's hard. Even when it's hard. Life is challenging. That's why it's called life. Anyway, you guys, don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe to Speak the Truth 2.0. And just continue to, be all that you can be. Read that, Elijah. Be all that you can be, You got to keep on fighting the good fight and just do what's right. Whether anybody see you or not, do what's right. And stop being so offended about everything. Stop being so emotional. Every people going to have different opinions. That's just how it is. See this? People, people going to have different opinions. That's like nobody's going to agree with you 100%. I'm sorry to tell you that, but that's how it is. Nobody, wife or husband or significant other or boss, nobody agrees with everyone 100%. That's life. And that's how it is. But what you can do, you can find out the truth for yourself. Anyway, you guys, thanks for joining Speak the Truth 2.0. I'm going to put up my NFL video. I got to get to mine because that's fun for me. I love sports. I love
You
football.
want to reply to this last comment?
This is like never getting off of here. Go ahead. What they said.
He said,
And y'all got to start super chatting us for me to respond. Because, see, we talk to the viewers, whereas other channels, they don't talk to y'all.
he
So,
said, white people deserve more respect from black people, and I'm not getting that here.
oh my God. Well, whatever you say. Black people need to, that's like saying black people need to thank master. Black people need, no, you got to earn respect. Respect is earned. Black people don't owe white people anything. Nothing. Nothing. And I'm not going to get into that because too many people get offended if I speak the truth on all that has happened during enslavement and on since we landed here in America. So, no, that's not true. That's not true at all. But y'all need to earn our respect. That's what y'all need to do. And forgiveness. Okay, let's just put it like that. That's really smug of you to feel like after all Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, I'm not talking about the Haitian and everybody else came out, I'm talking about foundational Black Americans, like, what? What? I don't know what people be smoking. No, nah, dog. No, not at all. White people are not the greatest people at all. They've done a lot to different ethnicities, and not because they are the smartest and the brightest or anything like that. But no, not at all. But Black people, y'all need to earn our respect. And I love, there's a lot of wonderful, amazing people of all ethnicities. White, Black, Hispanic, Asian, Indian. So I don't lump everybody together. That's unfair to all the good people out there that march with Black people during the civil rights, that helped slaves during enslavement and everything. They had those underground railroads and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of white people lost their lives fighting for the rights of Black people. And, because they got God. They have God in them. So they're amazing people. And then some people just feel like there's some entitlement, or they feel because the color of your skin makes them better than someone else. And that's a lie from hell. It doesn't. That's all in your head. And listen to Lyndon B. Johnson quote that if you could take a white man, the poorest white man, and let him think he's doing better than the best Black person, then they can pick your pockets. That's from a former president of the United States of America. And it's true.
No.
I got to get off of here.
Yeah, the first time, what you said originally wasn't it. It's second, that Black people deserve more respect from white people. You said because Black people also. It's not an also. It's Black people deserve more respect from white people.
Yeah, well, it's running out. People getting tired of the stereotypes and the lies and being labeled thugs and this and that when we're not. We're not the dangerous ones in this country. And that's terrible. What has been labeled and the pictures are shown on news and all that. And they don't show you all the people committing the crimes. And that's how it is. They want us to be the face of DEI when we're not DEI. They want us to be the face of crimes when we don't lead in crimes. That's how it is. Just let people think it's the Black people. Charlie Kirk unfortunately lost his life. They wanted to say Black people did it until they saw, of course, it was the white dude. Robinson. So that's just that we're the fall guys for other people's behaviors. But this too shall pass, because people not going for all this. This is 2026. People we tired. People tired now, and elections are going to be decided. Hear me, a lot differently moving forward, especially in the Black community. We're not going to be on lockdown any longer, and you're going to have more Black people actually moving more towards the Republican Party. But the Republican Party, the gain that they would get, they're losing, because then they start labeling themselves more on a racist side, like how the Democrats are. So I said, we're in the middle ground now. So it's crazy. But anyway, you guys, thanks for joining us. I have to go and get my dinner together because it is, we spring forward. I feel like it's getting darker later, but it's throwing my day off. So anyway, you guys, thanks for joining Speak the Truth 2.0. What did they say?
The truth. They said dangerous people is based on an individual.
Yeah.
Bad people come in all forms, colors.
That's true. That's absolutely true. They got to stop just labeling people. Bad people come in all genders, all ethnicities. That's how it is. It's not just one race of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So bad is bad. Bad versus evil. That's real. It's bad people and it's good people. That's how it is, you guys, regardless of race. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining Speak the Truth 2.0. My name is Cindy. This is Elijah. And this segment, I'm going to start calling it Cindy Speaks. And Elijah's going to do Elijah Corner. We're going to move forward because we've had over 18 million, probably pushing 19 million views on this channel. We took a dip because we stopped coming on live for a while. And when you do that, then you lose a lot of, YouTube stops sending your viewers to your channel. So we're building it back up right now, but I really want to focus on my Speak to Sports and Pray to All Here, my other two channels. But I was getting YouTube burnout, so I had to take a break. And I've just been just taking a break, watching just movies and, in my free time, not doing this. So, but I'm going to start uploading again. Thanks for joining us. We do appreciate your time is value. And everybody is welcome to their own opinion, to agree or disagree. And you guys join us again at Speak the Truth 2.0. And this is called Cindy Speaks. And he's going to do Elijah Corner. And he's going to be giving his opinion, talking to other younger people. He's in college and all that kind of stuff. So do that type of viewpoint. But we're going to start uploading more videos. I do want to get Madani what happened in New York about these explosives that was tossed at some people near Madani's house. So I do want to talk about that. But anyway, you guys, go ahead.
And if you guys watch this channel, there's absolutely no hatred here. It's all love and truth is what's on this channel.
Yeah, we're going to, and when we speak the truth, people get upset, but it hurts.
They think it's hatred.
But we could go along to get along. We would be thriving in Benjamins if we just said what everybody wants to hear.
Yeah.
And because of us not doing that, we're not profiting at all of this. Is our free given time. We're not profiting like we should be with our time and everything and doing our channel. But this is for you guys. If we did like the other channels, going along to get along and saying what everybody wants us to hear, we would be thriving. We would be thriving. But one day that's going to happen. We're not going to count ourselves out, but we want to make sure that we're authentic. This isn't scripted. We're not using teleprompters. So when you go to other shows, they're not even real. They sound polished. They sound great. They sound like what they're talking about. But they're reading scripts from chat. They're reading it. And you're going on there thinking they got the best opinions and they know everything. This is from here because I'm paying attention. I'm watching. I'm absorbing. And I'm taking it in. And then I'm able to give my opinion from listening. And without scripts. And I prefer that way, but I don't know. We have to do a teleprompter just to give people more polish, show or whatever. But I prefer not to, but.
Yeah, someone said that's some ugly business on other podcasts. Yeah, they just use chat.
They use chat.
Some of them have script writers.
A lot of, they have script writers. They got people that put their shows together and they do a lot to get you to click. for views, and they don't even talk to the chat unless they super chatting them.
Yeah.
They don't read comments. They don't address the people or whatever. That's what Speak the Truth does, because we want to hear from you. And like I said, if we just said everything that people wanted to hear, we would be blowing up financially. And that's a fact. But we can't. We can't. Because we have morals and principles, and we have to answer to God. And
Christian first.
yeah, we can't. I can't. I know that if I went along to get along, I would be, it would be incredible the amount of money that I could make. Because I know there's not other shows with a son and mother, and especially leaning more towards a lot of Republican type content and stuff like that. So, but we're not doing it. We didn't do it, and we're not going to do it. We're going to be real, regardless of if it's Republican or Democrat. We just want the truth. That's all. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We want the truth. Whether we agree or disagree, we want the truth. And that does not mean being disloyal. That's what I want to get through to people. They feel like they can't say they don't like something, like they're going to be disloyal to their party. You don't have to agree with everything to be loyal to your party. Some things are just wrong, and you should be adult enough to say it.
No, okay, what we've been saying has went over your head, because no one's lying about anything here.
Well, we're not the news media, but you can fact check or whatever. But the thing about it is that they refuse to hear. If you can't tell, you should be able to tell. You don't even have discernment enough to tell when someone is speaking from in here, in their heart. That's a gift that obviously you don't have. Nobody's getting paid for this. We're not gaining anything from this. Not nothing. Like we should. Like we deserve. So nobody's on here manipulating. Nobody's trying to convince you to agree. We want you to keep your own opinion. But we don't benefit, especially to lie to you. There's no benefit for us. None. Zero. No benefit. This takes time. This takes our time. It takes part of our life to do this too. But we're not getting paid. We're not getting paid for this. This is raw truth. Unlike the other channels, they're getting paid. They're getting paid. And they're giving you teleprompters, and they're going to say exactly what you want to hear, because that's what you can handle. But this is called Speak the Truth 2.0 for a reason. And we're going to stand, we have to just speak the truth. And we welcome your opinions. Have your own opinion.
I'm about to just get rid of him, because now he's saying we're full of hate.
Well, you know what? He's hurt.
Yeah.
Something about him is hurt because he stopped listening. He can't hear us because he's emotional and he's in his feelings. Because there's no hate here. For him to get all this and say hate, then it's something inner him. He's been wounded by somebody, and it's not us. It's not us. Because we haven't demonstrated hate. So somebody else wounded you, but it wasn't us. And we don't hate anybody. Period. We don't even know you to hate you. And even if we did, we have to still give you that grace because of the Christ that we serve.
Hey, shout out Immortal. He said from Zimbabwe, speak it.
Okay. God bless you.
God bless you.
Oh, wow. All the way from Zimbabwe. That is so
That's
cool.
cool.
I got to visit Africa. I got to get there. I just don't like flying that long. Like I could go anywhere. Like I've been different places in the world. It's like the long trips. I don't like, flying like that. But I want to see more of the world. So I got to get on that plane and I got to travel. And I would love to come to Africa. I'm trying to see which country that I want to visit. Because, the continent of Africa is vast, so I'm trying to figure out whether to go to Ghana or Kenya, like where to go, like Nigeria, go to Lagos or whatever, Lagos or whatever, go to Nigeria. But I'm going to figure it out. So anyway, thank you, Zimbabwe. Thanks, guys. That's so cool. It's from Zimbabwe. We love, thank you. Come back and join us. You know, tell people to come to our channel. They want American content. They want to hear from foundational Black Americans or Americans, period, in this country. Tell them to come and share Speak the Truth 2.0, because we love to have, you know, more people coming from other different parts of the world, you know, from Switzerland to Australia to Africa, Europe. We want you guys joining us, and you get to engage with conversations with us to see from the boots on the ground how we feel about what's going on inside of our country.
Oh, someone said a great comment. They said, "You guys are amazing and informative. I appreciate you too."
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
God
God
bless
bless you. We're gonna leave on that. But we do thank you guys, and we do appreciate your time. And we know in Zimbabwe and places like that, it's probably like really late. We're in the United States, and I think what is it? How many hour difference? Huh? What? Someone else?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. But anyway, you know, as people come in, and I know there's different time zones. Sometimes people, it's 2 a.m, 3 a.m, 4, 5, you know, and people are joining us. So thank you, you guys. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that when we come on, you'll be notified. And this way you can catch our programs, because we don't have a set time that we need to establish Monday through Friday that we come on, but we want to come on like between 12 and 5. That's when we notice that a lot more people are on our channel. But anyway, you guys, we're going to figure it all out, and God bless you. And we're going to be bringing people on our show so that we can talk to you guys and you can participate. You know, we're going to have our own panels that we can have these discussions, and, you know, you guys can be a part of it. Anyway, you guys, thanks for joining us. Don't forget, hit that like, share, subscribe. We only got 27 likes. You guys, please hit the like and leave a comment. Cindy Speaks will answer every comment, you know, because I can't see the chat. With, you know, when we get off, it'd be thousands of people, hundreds of people that's in the chat. We can't see the comments. But when it ends, if you want to reach out to us and, you know, leave comments, we will respond to it. So anyway, you guys, God bless. Have a great day and peace out.